Alrighty, welcome. We are here today to cover the solar eclipse. This is a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Gemini, which is mutable air. And it is in a tight conjunction with Mercury retrograde. Mercury is the ruling planet of Gemini, and it is in retrograde. So I didn't even plan on coming on tonight to do the Sabian symbol for the Gemini solar eclipse yet, but I was in my kitchen cutting up rhubarb. I just started having things come through to me, and one of the things was the song by Phil Collins, I Can Feel It Coming, I Can Feel It Coming in the Air Tonight, which is so Gemini because it is an air intellectual sign. Gemini is all about decisions, choices, communication, small community. My dog's drinking in the back, excuse me. I live in my home, so it distracts me sometimes for what my flow is, but just pardon me on that. So I have very, very huge epiphanies coming through. It's so important, and I really do have empathy for people who do not have a sense of clarity right now on their decisions in their life, and allowing other people to make those decisions, sway your decisions, because that is about choices. Gemini is about choices. This solar eclipse is happening at 19 degrees, 47 minutes. And so wherever this is in your birth natal chart will be exactly what house you would like to look into to see what that represents, to go more detailed for you. I'm doing a general reading today, so thank you for everybody who tunes in to listen. Choices, decisions, intellect, communication. Mercury is retrograde at 20 degrees, right there with the sun and the moon conjunct in the sign of Gemini, and it is obviously has many different aspects going on. I'm going to go down and scroll looking through some of these too, because of the decisions that people need to make. There is an opportunity for such clarity right now. These new moons are a time of planting seeds, new beginnings. We had the lunar eclipse in the opposite sign of Sagittarius about belief systems. So this portal in between the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse has kind of been a percolating time where many people, if taken the opportunity to reflect upon things, on their decisions and their clarity. And so I really do feel for anybody. I've never been so sure in my life with my decisions, especially when it comes to not following the narrative of what's been taking place globally. And so this sun and moon eclipse with Mercury is in a square to Neptune. So the eagle keeps coming up to me, not only on my calendar that I shared on my last video, because the deer and the eagle are the animal totems for this first couple of weeks of Gemini. And then a girlfriend of mine that's also a reader had eagle spirit come up. So this Neptune energy, I'm just like, wow. The Neptune square with Mercury is asking us, if given the opportunity to utilize with your free will, hopefully you're very sure of yourself when it comes to making decisions for yourself, not allowing other people to make those decisions for you, because that Neptune square can give us the opportunity to rise above like the eagle, to have that higher perspective, to have the bird's eye view on what is taking place, looking at everything connected that's been going on the earth plane with humans and humanity is super important. And so I believe for a lot of us, the old souls are already awake and onto it. I do believe that through communication, again, never trying to convince anybody to see your perspective, but again, that's where perspective is coming up again with the sign of Gemini, because it's asking us to be open to shift our perspectives, to gain clarity at this time. I feel great personally, but I know that there's many people that are indecisive. I know there's many people who are still in fear. There's many people who are not sure of the decisions that they should make. So that's why I always encourage people to pray and meditate, to go within, to seek first that kingdom within themselves, so their answers and their clarity can come from within themselves to make the correct decisions for the best for themselves and the best for the whole. And so what do I want to talk about too? Okay, so at the time of this eclipse, Mars is in opposition to Pluto, and Pluto is the dark hidden things. Pluto is also like oil. So pay attention to see if we see gas prices going up at this time more than what they have already started to. The Saturn-Uranus square is still in that type of energy. It's within a 1-degree orb that's going to continue through this year. It's about new ways, innovative, change, breaking free with Uranus. Saturn is on the lower aspects, the way we've always done it, not open to change. But on the higher aspect of that, it can be taking the wisdom from the things that we've learned from the past so that we can do better for the whole, for the future. And so I'm just going to clear our energy. And again, communication, a lot of energy in mutable. So mutable energy are those kind of that chameleon type of energy where you can shift and change and be open. So that's a beautiful opportunity. We have the Jupiter Neptune in the sign of Pisces, which is mutable, and Pisces is, rules the 12th house. That's spirit, that's tapping into spirit, not on the lower aspect escaping from things that we need to deal with in the human experience. And then we have the Gemini energy with the sun, the moon, Mercury with this solar eclipse, giving us the opportunity for a new beginning. And it starts right within you. And it's really an important time to be sure of yourself with the choices, with the decisions. And another thing coming up for me to share today is keeping your thoughts in check. Whether it be through changing the way you think, with whether you have to use positive affirmations that come through for you, whatever it is, keeping your thoughts and your vibration high so that your emotions don't drag down that vibration, because all emotions are good and healthy if we keep them in check and we kind of have that eagle's perspective to observe what your feelings and emotions are, but not become them. So again, this eclipse is happening on June 10th at 6:53 p.m. AM, 6:53 solar eclipse, 19 degrees 47 minutes, and then about a week later we'll move into Cancer season. So it's an opportunity now to make sure you're clear, make sure your choices are certain. That way, especially with what's going on in the collective, another thing coming up to me is revelations, and I can feel it coming in the air tonight. And that's playing in my head as I'm cutting rhubarb, and I'm like, it's an air sign. It's communication. Revelations to me is all the dark hidden things, the Fauci. You'd have to be asleep to see what's coming out finally. I've known this for a year because Amazing Polly is a great researcher that was censored by YouTube. And then, of course, watching Event 201, knowing that this, quote, top doctor in America that the media has labeled the top doctor is really a corrupt, evil person. There's a lot of people that he's not the only one to blame for all of the things that have gone on in this world as the collective. But there's going to be more information coming out. It's about Gemini. That is about communication. Mercury retrograde right there, going over to redo and reveal and renew, is assisting at this time. that's the best thing about being a person who's truthful and genuine, is you don't have to worry about covering your bases or covering your ass for a lie that you've told or deception or whatever it is. So revelations, I can feel it coming in the air tonight, and it's all about making sure that you are clear with your choices, your decisions, your communication with yourself, and then of course the communication that you take out to put out into the collective, to the ethers, communication with other people that is also all being held on the earth plane in the what does Cryon call it? Just the energy that we put out there is more important than ever. So let's just clear our energy. God, creator, source, divine, white light, I call upon your presence for clarity, for support, for abundance of goodness. I just ask that you be present with us, be present within me always, to share through communication any information that may be uplifting, needed to be received right now. And we just ask for open hearts, full of blessings, for awareness, for clarity. And so it is. We give thanks in advance for these messages. We know that we're supported. We know that the opportunity right now with that Neptune square Mercury is to rise above what is going on in the collective, to see the bigger perspective, to be clear in our choices, to be clear in our decisions, to know that truth stands alone. And revelations is that all these hidden things must come to the light. And we give thanks. Oh, wow. So I'm going to draw one first from my astrology deck just to see which planet house or message comes up for this Gemini solar eclipse happening on June 10th, 2021. Like I said, I really do feel for anybody that is indecisive or allowing other people to make decisions for them right now, because you could be led down a path of slaughter and not even know it, with no clarity, and in this fog, right, with the Neptune energy that is, you know, that's about the higher communication. That's why it's so crazy to me that that eagle spirit keeps coming up. And really getting a bigger perspective, and then always making sure that you're mindful and keeping your thoughts in check, because Gemini energy can have a lot of us just looking for information and taking this information in, and it can become too much information, and then it becomes information overload. It can overwhelm you. I also feel like the light that's coming in, that the Shaman spikes that have been taking place, have been helping many of us, if we are open to it with our free will, to assimilate, to adjust our nervous systems, to integrate more and more light, which is truth, right? So let's just get one message before we read the Sabian symbol for the Gemini solar eclipse. Second house, owning. So the second house is the house of Taurus, and we just came out of Taurus season. I think we need to own our decisions. I think we need to own that we have choices, and that we need to make our choices with clarity. on what we truly value, and not allowing ourselves to be swayed or persuaded or convinced to, here, have a French fry and you can get this, or here, the latest one that I heard, which is crazy and I can't even believe people aren't seeing through it, is Anheuser-Busch is offering free beer if you take the jab. Does this anything make sense to people? Are they not waking up to it? They don't care about your health. That is why it is now more important than ever that you own what you value. You own your values within you. Are you a sovereign being? Were you given a God-given immune system that you can boost naturally by keeping your vibration high, by doing herbs, by doing supplements, by keeping your thoughts high, your vibration high? This is a time right now with this owning energy, second house, for this solar eclipse, to make sure that you are clear on your decisions, on your true values, and then owning that. Owning it. Don't allow the structures to sway you, to tell you what you need to value, to tell you that you're selfish if you don't accept this, to tell you that you're selfish if you don't muzzle yourself. This opportunity right now with this eclipse is to have a new beginning and to be very clear on what your choices and decisions are. So for this Sabian symbol, we round up to the 20-degree Sabian symbol for this solar eclipse. A cafeteria. The key word is supply. A full supply for here and now. You have everything you need right within you right now. Nothing outside of you. Everything within you. This symbol speaks to the division of labor in any society whereby each individual benefits all the others by contributing his own special skills and talents to the pool of resources. And that is by getting yourself in integrity, by doing what is passionate to you, to knowing your value and your worth as a sovereign being. Because when you raise your vibration in that knowingness, what I like to call remembering, because we've had amnesia and it's like this awakening is causing a remembering to know that we're sovereign and that we do not accept being manipulated, killed through our food, through big pharma, through government, through freaking wars that we shouldn't be fighting, by not biting the apple of duality, of separation by color, gender. You're biting right into the apple they want you to when you do that. Stop it with the racist shit. Stop it with the color. Stop it with the shaming. Own who you are. You're powerful no matter what color you are, no matter what decision that these people want you to make by swaying you, by convincing you that you're not worthy and that you need them to be free. It's insanity, you guys. They just keep going and doing it, and it's been going on for years. And now it's being revealed for all eyes to see. Okay, so contribute to the collective by doing you. And like I said with my last video, be committed to you. The image of a cafeteria emphasizes abundance, variety, and the importance of using discrimination in satisfying personal needs and wants. The positive is, at its highest, the symbol represents versatility and personal enrichment through participation in the give and take situations of life. On the lower aspect of this, it is indecision and the inability to keep long-term commitments. So don't be swayed. Don't be one of those where I'm a people pleaser and I'm going to do this when I'm around this person. No more hiding. The ascent is on self-help. Everything you need is at hand. And that goes right back to owning who you are. You are valuable. You're worthy, and it's time to be clear of that. So everything you need is at hand. All you have to do is choose. The opportunity with this solar eclipse in Gemini is your greatest advantage lies in taking care of your responsibilities and being willing to ask for help when you need it. Guard against letting yourself get confused by the number of choices available to you. Know what you want and don't dwell on trying to get things that you don't need. The stepping stones are nourishment, abundance, supply, profusion, variety, choice, diversity, self-help, and division of labor. So this to me is what the call for the Aquarian age is to embrace your uniqueness, to do the things in your life that you own who you are. And I bring to the table my light, you bring to the table your light, and we may not have all of the same ideals or whatever, but we know that in our unique expression, when we step into that and we own who we are, that we've all vibrate higher by being and expressing our unique selves to the best of our abilities. And I'm telling you, decisions, you gotta wait. All of a sudden she needs out after she just ate. You're gonna wait. Sorry, I got distracted here. So it's all about that, guys, and it is very important that we own that right now, because if you can't tell the agendas that are going on in all the structures, people will lead you astray. It's like the modern day leading you into a gas chamber by offering you French fries, beer. I can't even, it's like I'm watching a freaking episode of Punk'd right now. I'm not a political person, I'm a truth person. And I can see through the deception with such clarity right now that it's almost like we're watching a complete shit show on what the leader of a free country, he's not my leader. Yeshua is my leader. God, creator of the universe, is my leader. This dude that's in our big building in America right now, literally coming out of his mouth that, hey, Anheuser-Busch will give you some beer, and trying to convince you to take a jab because they're worried about your health. Offering you beer and freaking greasy food. Wake up. You need clarity. You need to be sure in your choices and your decisions, because once you accept that, there is no going back. So I pray that you hear me. I know I sound like I'm being a bitch. I'm just passionate about this right now because so much clarity coming through for me. And I want that for all of you. I want that for everybody that you know. And I know as many of us old souls and light workers, you've already, you can't try to convince anybody of anything. But by now, because it's happening on such a mass scale, it's like clarity should be now. And with this solar eclipse in Gemini, in a sign where Mercury's in one of its home signs, about intellect, choices, communication, local neighborhoods, short travel, a lot of processing and letting go, a lot of time for renewal and being very sure of yourself, of what you would like to plant with this new moon in Gemini solar eclipse. It's so important and imperative, because once your decision's made, especially with what they're trying to feed you with the information, there is no reversing it. And so on a bigger perspective, from an eagle's perspective, every soul that's here right now and the decisions they make, unknowingly or not, that's our free will. So I pray that makes sense for you. I pray that you are more clear and more sure of the decisions that you make. What else for this solar eclipse in Gemini? Deep, quiet meditation and stillness. Own who you are. Be clear. If you are not clear, this is where I've gained my clarity. Deep, quiet. quieting that intellectual mind, going with that Neptunian spiritual higher perspective. And the only way that you can be still and listen and hear the answers of your soul, of your higher self, of God, Creator, Source, of your angels, your ancestors, is meditation and stillness. And that's one thing. Isn't that a beautiful card? Look at those colors. The magentas and the purples to me is like crown chakra, information coming through from your higher self. And the only way you can own that and be clear in your decisions is to get straight here. My prior video was, I feel the opportunity to merge the intellect, totally Gemini, Mercury, with the heart chakra, to be still and listen. And that's where spirit, our angels, our ancestors, your higher self, your soul will guide you so you can own who you are, taking that forward and putting it on the table. And that's where the fruits of our labor, doing our own inner work, shadow work, even I want to say loving up your inner child of maybe perhaps things that you were taught or things you had a belief system from because of that nodal lunar eclipse that we had in Sagittarius just prior in May, I believe the 26th, is on the axis of where now we're having the solar eclipse. They go hand in hand, working together and tipping the scales and having an open bird's eye eagle perspective of clarity, more important than ever with our decisions. And how you can do that, and this is also a card 11, spiritual number, spiritual pillars of support. And I believe tapping into that through meditation and stillness is the way. I am a Virgo. I'm ruled by Mercury. I used to have such a busy intellect that wasn't necessarily speaking very nice to myself. If I can change it and flip the script, so can you. So that is highly recommended just now in this portal leading up to the solar eclipse energy. And let's pull a crystal card now. Where did I put them? Right here. So second house. Second house is about your value, self-worth as a sovereign being, and owning it. And how you do that is to get your clarity by being still in meditation. You don't have to make it a job. Just start little. Go outside, sit on the ground, and do some breath work, some very conscious, aware breath work into your belly or into your solar plexus. That's a start. So anybody that says, like I used to, that I can't meditate, that's all the more reason that you need to. Because I tell you what, when Spirit starts giving you images and audio and downloads, I can do it now and just all of a sudden, you know, cutting rhubarb and Phil Collins, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. I'm like, revelation's good because I don't like deception. Feeling a lot of deception as a little child is what shut me down as an empath, as an old soul. And so I internalized a lot of that. And so we have spiritual sonar antennas with that Neptune energy. Everybody has Neptune in their chart somewhere. Everybody has Pisces, that spiritual antenna to be connected. And I love that that comes up in this meditation and stillness card with that magenta and purple color. So that's totally crown chakra. And be present in your body, because that was what happened with me in the first 40 years of my life. I wasn't present. I escaped from my sensitivity. I didn't understand it, right? You see all these people and faces around you, they're all liars or deceptive or gossipy or backstabbing. It can shut you right down, and that's where escapism comes from. And so be clear right now with the solar eclipse energy. If you are in the lower mind, be very consciously aware of what you're thinking about and what information you're taking in. And if you can lean towards that deep, quiet stillness and meditation and tap into spirit, it's super powerful right now. So let's see, what is the crystal that's wanting to come up? Haven't used this deck in a while. the Lapis life-changing epiphany and experience. It's time of big and blessed change for you, and God is supporting you each step of the way. You have the full armor of God within you, the shield of protection from human fuckery, the sword to cut off energetic cords of a relationship with yourself or others that does not serve for your higher good. This eclipse energy is about change. This particular one is about being sure of your choices. And again, owning who you are as a sovereign being and having true self-worth, not what somebody's going to tell you outside of you is self-worth. Your knowingness that you're a spiritual being supported by the ultimate supreme creator of the universe, that you're a spark of it. And the opportunity for epiphanies right now, if you can sit in stillness and meditation, you have the opportunity to gain so much clarity, so much feeling of support on every level. And it can be a blessing. It is a blessing to have that realization. God is supporting you each step of the way. What a wonderful message. So be still and listen. Seek first the kingdom within you, so I say all the time. And let's do an I am. We will close this up. I love my Sabian symbol book. It's always spot on. The astrology is intended for us to work with it, to allow the energy to flow through us. And how we do that is to get on our path, owning who we are, remembering that we're sovereign, right? Because it feels like when we fall through the veils, we forget. And now we're remembering. More and more people are remembering on a collective because of this call for the Aquarian energy to come forth in your unique expression. Don't be swayed by others, right? Super cool. I don't have any lapis lazuli. Tongue-tied. I would like to, though. I've seen it. I just don't know of a good place to order crystals from. So if anybody tuned in today has a great website that you've had good experiences with, let me know. I am free to love myself, and that is one thing that the world has not taught us thus far. And I am here to be that spiritual reminder to you guys as a fellow earth dweller, to put yourself first, to be committed to yourself, to love yourself up, not in an egoic way, but in a way that you know, owning who you are, that you value yourself as a co-creator, a spark of God, creator of the universe. It is life-changing when you do that. I used to be a negative self-talk to myself. I was taught to be codependent. I was taught that putting myself first was selfish, and when in fact we need to fill our own love cup first. We need to put our own oxygen mask on first before we can be any of assistance or of service or any good to anybody else. So love yourself up, get in a quiet space, be still, because you can have some major epiphanies at this time come through for you in stillness and meditation. And I believe that's all we have for this beautiful opportunity. Be sure of your decisions, and you have the opportunities for so much clarity, and it is so freaking powerful. I send this to you with so much love. Have a blessed new moon in Gemini solar eclipse. Keep your thoughts in check, because it's a lot about the thoughts with this Mercury and this Gemini eclipse. Let me know how you're doing in the comments, and I send this to you guys with so much love. Shalom.